Imagine standing before an impossible fortress, the mighty city of Jericho. Its massive walls reach towards the desert sky, a silent testament to human strength. But in this story, the greatest weapon wasn't a battering ram or a siege tower. It was silence, a profound, 7-day silence, a test of faith that would echo through eternity. This is the story of how obedience, not force, brought down the impenetrable. Before the first step was ever taken, a promise was given. The Lord spoke to Joshua, not with a battle plan of human strategy, but with a divine command. See, I have delivered Jericho into your hands. The instructions were strange, almost illogical to the mind of a warrior. March around the city once a day for 6 days. Say nothing. Let only the sound of 7 rams' horns, the shofars, break the quiet. This wasn't just a military tactic. It was a spiritual exercise in trust. The victory was already won in the heavenly realms. The march was the Israelites' act of walking into that promise. So began the silent procession. Picture the scene. A vast army, tens of thousands of men, marching in absolute quiet. No war cries, no taunts, just the rhythmic sound of sandals on dusty ground. This silence was an act of discipline, a suppression of their own fears, their own doubts, their own desire to do something. Every silent step was an act of worship, a declaration that they were relying on God's power, not their own. The tension must have been immense, both inside and outside the city walls. The people of Jericho would have watched in bewilderment, this strange, silent ritual unfolding day after day. At the heart of this silent army were the priests, bearing the most sacred object in all of Israel, the Ark of the Covenant. This wasn't just a wooden box, it was the tangible presence of God among his people. The Ark went before them, leading the way. The priests were not just passive participants, they were the guardians of the divine presence, their sacred duty to carry the very throne of God into this spiritual battle. Their focused devotion, the solemn blowing of the shofars, sanctified the march, turning the desert ground into a holy sanctuary. The sound of the horns was a constant reminder that this was God's fight. The walls of Jericho were no ordinary obstacle. Archaeological findings suggest a brilliant and formidable design. A massive stone retaining wall, topped by an inner and outer mud brick wall. An attacker who managed to scale the first wall would find themselves trapped in a deadly corridor, exposed to defenders on the higher, inner wall. It was engineered for total defense, seemingly impenetrable. From a human perspective, the task was hopeless. But the silence of the Israelites wasn't a sign of weakness. It was a testament to their faith in a God who doesn't see obstacles the way we do. Then came the 7th day. The tension reached its peak. The air grew thick with anticipation. This day, the command was different. Not once, but 7 times they were to circle the city. 7 times the priests and the ark led the silent army. 7 times the shofars echoed against the stone. It was a number of divine completion, a final, emphatic declaration of faith. After the 7th lap, as the sun hung high in the sky, Joshua gave the signal. The priests unleashed a long, final blast from their horns, and at that very moment, a mighty shout erupted from the entire nation of Israel. It was a shout of faith, of release, of victory already claimed. And then, the impossible happened. The walls of Jericho did not simply crumble. The scriptures say they fell down flat. Archaeological evidence suggests a fascinating detail. The mud brick walls fell outward, creating a ramp against the stone retaining wall. God didn't just destroy the obstacle, he transformed it. The very thing that was meant to keep them out became their pathway in. It was a divine ramp, a purpose-built road for his people to walk directly into the city and claim the victory he had promised. A straight path, laid by the hand of God himself. Looking at the ruins of ancient Jericho, we see more than just fallen stones. We see a monument to faith. The story teaches us that some of our greatest battles are won not with noise and fury, but in quiet trust and radical obedience. It reminds us that when we carry the presence of God with us, he doesn't just remove our obstacles, he can turn them into the very pathways that lead to our promised victory. It is a timeless lesson on the power of faith to make a way where there seems to be no way. Thank you for joining us on this journey. If this story inspired you, please like, share, and subscribe for more content that explores the depths of faith.